welcome to the Europa Hotel in Belfast. I'll tell you, it's great to be back, and we're back, but more importantly, Ryan Burnett is back. We've been looking for an excuse to be back here for a long, long time, and because of the way boxing's going right now, we had to come back with a world title fight, and we've done so with a big domestic fight. IBF world champion Lee Haskins defending his world title against Ryan Burnett live on Sky Sports from the SSE Arena. We know it previously as the Odyssey, and we can't wait to be back June the 10th. And we've got a big card to bring you as well with a lot of top talent coming through. Before I talk about the guys on the table and hear from them, we're going to pass over to our head of boxing at Sky Sports, Adam Smith.
Thanks very much. I think,
I forgot you guys had that.
Thanks for the reception you had at Wembley.
True. I didn't get booted though yet, but it's early doors.
I think we're just coming down to earth after Saturday night, which of course was history making, wasn't it? Unbelievable. But it's fantastic to get back to the weekly boxing road and be here in Belfast. It's one of my favourite fight cities in the world. We absolutely love coming here. Seeing my old friends Eamon McGee and John Breen, it's terrific. We've been covering boxing on Sky Sports for over 25 years, and some of my early memories were with Eamon Loughran and fighters like that at the King's Hall, the Ulster Hall, my childhood hero Barry McGuigan back in the day. Who have we been here with? Obviously Eamon and Brian McGee and Carl Frampton in recent years. It's fantastic to be back in Belfast. I love walking around the city and just chatting boxing with everyone on the streets. It's fantastic to be back. Got real high hopes for Ryan Burnett. Like the look at him from the start, under the tutelage of the excellent trainer Adam Booth. But I think this is a really, really interesting and difficult fight for Ryan, because I've got huge respect as well for the man to my right, Lee Haskins. He's done it the hard way. We've been covering him from very early on in some small shows in Bristol, part of the Bristol Boys, that wonderful set down under Chris and Jamie Sanagar. They're very underrated. They've done things the hard way. So I think Lee Haskins is going to be desperate to hold on to his title. He'll know he'll have the crowd against him, but he's done that before, and I'm really excited about finding out how good Ryan Burnett is. I think it's an excellent fight, world title fight in June here in Belfast, and on behalf of everyone on Sky Sports, we are delighted to be back here. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I think what we're finding now in boxing is, as the quality goes up and the demand from the customer goes up, fighters are having to put themselves into real fights, into real tests. And I'm getting it all the time, mainly from Adam Smith, to say that we don't want that. We want 50-50 fights. We want these fighters testing themselves. Actually, let's find out how good they are. And what I like about the majority of the guys on the table below, and some are making their way and some are ready for those challenges, is they're up for it. And they're up for being challenged on June the 10th. And over the next probably 48 hours, you're going to see, I think, some quite surprising matchups with the gentlemen on the table below me. Because if this is going to work, and if we're going to see a resurgence of live televised World Championship boxing in Belfast, then we need to bring through young fighters, and we need to put young fighters in big tests who are not afraid to take those big tests, and who will challenge themselves to get big wins in televised fights. And we're going to be pushing to make sure that the guys, particularly Paul Hyland and James Tennyson, guys like that, are up for taking that challenge on June the 10th. Because one, we want to put on a big show, but two, we want to find out how good these young kids are coming through. Because if Ryan Burnett can be successful and win the world title, we have a real chance to come back here on a regular occasion to Belfast. And it's something that I really want to do, and it's something that Sky Sports really want to do as well. So not too much pressure on you, Fergal McCrory, because you're not going to be slung straight into the deep end. You're on your way in the sport with John Breen. But it's a pleasure to have you on the show, and I know you're excited about being part of the card on June the 10th. Take it away, old boy.
I'd like to thank Eddie and everyone involved for getting me on the show. Everyone wants to be on Sky Sports, and as I was saying to my girlfriend last night, she asked me who Ryan Burnett was, and I told her that Ryan Burnett is going to be the next Short Fountain, and hopefully Ryan gets the win. Eddie keeps coming back and everyone expresses themselves well, and we'll push on from here.
Fergal, a bubbling fight scene as always. it's always a sleeping giant here in Belfast, isn't it? The support, the atmosphere. If you can crack it, it's golden.
Yeah, I mean, people in Ireland are amazing. My own supporters, I'm very happy for, because they come out in the droves to small hall shows. Now we've got the big show, and don't be surprised if I sell the most tickets.
Matthew Wilton, of course, big family tradition here in Belfast as well. You're making your way, undefeated, many fights now, and also ready to test yourself and try and jump on the bandwagon of these big shows in championship fights.
Yeah, these are the fights that I want to be involved in, so 15-0, if I start kicking on there in my career and take it on from here.
Obviously, the brothers, deep history in Belfast boxing as well, looking to go one further and obviously pick up some major titles.
Yeah, well, I'll try and outdo Luke first and then we'll take it from there.
Paddy Gallagher, great to see you back on the show. Obviously you've been in some fights yourself, big fights, and now ready to move on and looking at bringing some big support to Belfast on June the 10th.
Yeah, that's the thing, on another Sky Sports show I made my debut in front and fought Kiko the first time in the Odyssey, which was very good, and then I fought on another show, bit of a crazy night in Prize Fighter. So I fought in 2 matchroom shows, I fought in another couple of TV shows as well, run the British Boards Celtic title last year, then I had a British Eliminator, didn't work out my way, so I climbed my way back, and things are feeling good. I've changed up a few things, we're in a different place and stuff now, so hopefully it pays off here soon, feeling good, and see what kind of opponent to get here soon. Didn't actually know I was on the show until I walked in and see my name on the table, so it was a good thing I come down for the support of Ryan. I come down to support Ryan and look for some answers if I was on the show. Harry Hampson at the table. Say the man dressed like this. Brilliant.
You'd have to speak to your manager who's been pushing very hard to get you on. Paul Highland Jr. Now, everybody tells me that you are a fantastic young talent, and we believe so. You're what, 15-0 now? We saw you recently on Sky Sports beating Peter Cope down in London, and now a chance to be live on Sky Sports. Your fight will be live on Sky Sports. You will be in a championship fight on June the 10th as well, and ready to deliver on the promises that many around you believe that you can be another big star coming out of Belfast.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'll get the showcase my talent on this next show coming up. It's going to be a tight fight, I've been told. Not sure of the opponent, but I'm not too worried, to be honest. Just let me kick on. Obviously, a burgeoning lightweight scene. You saw Robbie Barrett upset the odds recently over Scotty Cardle. He's going to be fighting Lewis Ritson, and pretty much you should be next in line for the winner of that fight. Yeah, well, hopefully I get the chance to fight for that British title. It's a title I want to fight for, and I believe we can win it. So I'm looking forward to getting in the next head there soon.
James Tennyson. James Tennyson. James Tennyson, I'm particularly, I know you know some of the names we're talking about for that June 10th fight. We should get the all clear tonight or tomorrow to announce. But as I said to you previously, you're ready now, and after the Ryan Walsh fight, absolutely no fear in taking that big championship fight on June the 10th.
Yeah, definitely, you know, not so long, last month my contract ended with Queensbury, so Eddie came up talking to us, he gave us big opportunities, some big fights, he's talking titles, so he's talking real positive, so I'm looking forward to it. I believe we're ready for the opportunities that Eddie's talking about, so we'll see. Obviously moving up from feather to super feather, tough division, as is featherweight as well, but you feel it's going to make a big difference to you? Yeah, definitely, you know, I'm a big super featherweight as it is, but as a featherweight, you know, I've got to be able to take for the weight, I'll still be able to make a weight, but I'm comfortable now, so you know, I believe we can make some noise in the division. Good man. I guess it was over a year ago now, Adam Booth came to me, and I was watching Ryan Burnett fight on some rival promoters shows, obviously much smaller, and he was telling me about this young man. I was watching him and sort of kicking myself that we didn't really have him, and the opportunity came up for us to work with Ryan Burnett and Adam Booth, and Adam is someone that knows boxing inside out, and generally when he tells you that he's got a special talent, you believe him, you have to believe it. But the way he talked
about Ryan Burnett and the passion that he talked about Ryan Burnett as well really made me think that, you know, we need to get behind this boy and we need to make sure that we give him the opportunities to go as far as Adam thinks he can go. And obviously, when we left Belfast, what, probably 2 or 3 years ago, we were looking for that talent to go back with, but boxing in that period has just gone like that. And I originally thought that we'd return to Belfast in a British title fight with Ryan Burnett. Then as boxing started to become bigger and bigger, we thought, well, it'd probably have to be a European title. And then eventually it became a world title. And you get some real pleasing moments in boxing, working with some great people. But when I told Adam Booth that Ryan Burnett had got the all clear and we'd signed the contracts to fight Lee Haskins for the world title, so the look on his face was worth every penny of time trying to make that deal and every penny of investment to try and bring this world title fight to Belfast. And they're a very close unit, and fighter and trainers generally are. And he showed me a picture which was great of him giving Ryan Burnett the news, and them sort of both almost breaking down in tears and embracing each other. And it made me realise how important it is to try and carve out these opportunities and deliver these opportunities for fighters. And definitely try and deliver them for a fighter who has a city like Belfast behind him. Because although I do generally waffle on, I promise you there are very few cities, if at all, where you can create an atmosphere and a passion for supporting your own like this. And here you have an opportunity for one of your own to become world champion. And it doesn't happen very often. But I believe it's not just about becoming world champion, it's about cementing yourself in the division, unifying the division and moving up. And I truly believe that in Ryan Burnett you have a fighter that can do it. So first of all, I'm going to pass over a round of applause for Ryan Burnett's trainer, Adam Booth.
Thank you to Sky, who have been the bedrock and the lifeblood of boxing for, well, since I can remember, because without Sky, boxing wouldn't be where it is today. And Eddie's done an incredible job in taking the opportunity that Sky presented and putting boxing into a new stratosphere. I've never seen it more popular and more successful than how it is. And it would be nice for what we have over in England to spill over to Ireland, because you have a long history of fighting, and for you not to be getting world title fights over here just seems wrong. So kudos to Eddie. More importantly, you know, I'm not going to talk too much about Ryan because I'll just keep my mouth shut until after June the 10th. But I just want to give Lee Haskins a lot of respect and a lot of credit. This is a guy who has been around everywhere. He's boxed pretty much every style, and he knows how to win. And at the end of the day, that's what this is about. He knows how to win.
Thank you, Adam.
My belief from day one is that Ryan Burnett is special. Time catches up with everyone. When Lee Haskins was a pro in 2003 or 2002? 2003, 14 years ago. What were you doing 14 years ago?
I was still in the nappies.
Probably bunking off school. And boxing throws up situations like this that are incredible. You had it on Saturday where there was a classic example of youth and energy and experience. Experience blew it on Saturday night, and youth, energy and balls and a right uppercut won the day. But that doesn't mean that that's automatically going to be that way. I know full well that Lee Haskins is the type of guy that a lot of people will make the cardinal mistake of underestimating. We don't. We know what he can do. We know he can shut down effective, talented fighters. So we're striving every day to have every answer to every question that Lee Haskins can ask of Ryan Burnett, because he's going to ask him questions. And I'm really looking forward, and I'm excited to Ryan finding the answers. Thank you.
We'll move over to the Haskins camp before we speak to the fighters individually. And now when you talk about people in boxing supporting fighters and that bond, the Sanagars have definitely got that down, obviously in the southwest and in Wales, and they are true boxing people. They do put their hand in their pocket to invest in fighters, and I'll often talk to Jamie after he's done a show, and you know, he'll be telling me how he's done his conkers, but he couldn't care less because you know, Robbie Turley's just won a Commonwealth title, and to see the look on his face meant everything. And when you've got that kind of mentality, it's a good place to be for a fighter, because it doesn't always go smoothly. And I think Lee Haskins has benefited from Jamie Sanagar, Chris Sanagar, and there's been a great loyalty there where probably Lee could have deviated elsewhere at some point. He didn't. He stuck with it. The Sanagars stuck with it, and he became world champion. You know, when they were sort of phoning me up, looking just for an opportunity to win the European or something like that, he stuck at it. He got the rankings. He got the fights he needed. He carved out an opportunity. And you know, they've done a great job with him, and now they're in a position where they travel into the Lion's Den, into the backyard of a young, talented fighter, because they believe they can win, and they believe Lee Haskins can defend this title successfully, and they've got plans beyond Ryan Burnett. And at this time I'd like to introduce, to say a few words, Lee Haskins' manager, Jamie Sanagar.
Thank you, Eddie. It's good to be working again, back with Eddie Hearn and Lee Haskins back on Sky Sports again. There was a time where Sky may not have touched Lee Haskins, and I used to pester Adam Smith and pester Eddie and say, come on, give this man a chance, and no, and we had to struggle through. He boxed as chief support to Brooke Golovkin last September, and now he is here headlining on Sky again, so it's sweet vindication for all the hard work that we're back at this level. We had a little chuckle when we seen the name of the show on Twitter, Belfast Boy, and that's what this is, a man against a boy. Lee Haskins is a two-time British, two-time Commonwealth, two-time European, and now IBF bantamweight champion of the world. In the last 9.5 years, he's only had one defeat. In that time, he's beaten world champions in Jamie McDonnell, Stuart Hall. He's beat the Frenchman Omar Lamiri in France for the European title. They brought over a Japanese boxer, Ryosuke Iwasa, who was meant to be the next big thing in Japan. Lee Haskins knocked him out.
Guys, what was you paying?
Lee Haskins is a tremendous talent and doesn't get the credit that he deserves as one of the best British world champions. The thought of coming to Belfast, to this hostile territory, is nothing to face Haskins. We've been all over the world fighting, France, Spain. We even boxed in a market square in Morocco in the middle of the day. There was goats walking around ringside. He boxed the Moroccans' head off for 12 rounds and came home with the title. We came to Belfast a few years ago with another fighter of mine, Lee Selby, who I wouldn't mind seeing back here again with another Belfast fighter, if they actually fancied it. You know, that was a hostile territory that night. As we walked out to the ring, they booed, they hissed, there was a bit of language. But Belfast is a boxing crowd, and when they seen Selby get to work against Martin Lindsay, it quietened down, and at the end they applauded him. And the same will happen on June the 10th. With regards to Ryan Burnett, Eddie Hearn, Adam Smith, Sky Sports, Matchroom Boxing, they've rolled out the red carpet. The hype machine is in full effect. But when you look at the performances, what you're hearing is you're thinking it's the second coming of an Eric Morales, but when you're actually watching the fights, I can't see it, we can't see it. He's a very talented young boy. He had a great junior career as an amateur. He's unblemished 16-0 as a pro. But he's still at domestic level, and I think they've taken the jump too quickly. You know, his wins have been against journeyman and domestic level opposition. He's never featured at European level. He's never featured at world title fringe level. And this is a level that Lee Haskins has been competing at for 10 years. Lee Haskins has had more title fights than Ryan Burnett has had pro contests. And it's that difference in experience that you will see a man against a boy, and we will be going back after our 4th world title defence. Thank you.
Well, you got me worried, yeah? Are you sure about this, Andy? You told me this was an easy fight.
Listen, he just said, he just admitted that they can't figure out what's good about him. That's all right.
Okay, listen, a young man who's moved from here, obviously, to the England and to Adam Booth to really get the most out of his career, to follow his dreams and make sure that he can achieve everything that he wanted to achieve as a young man. He's had to fight on our shows without massive support of travelling fans, because they're over here supporting their own, and it's been difficult at times because I feel like the support that you guys can give him can take him to that next level, and I think there's so many more levels to find from Ryan Burnett, and you'll see them when he walks in to an arena where literally the hairs on the back of his neck are standing up, and he'll get that on June the 10th. And now, June the 10th, you have an opportunity, as I said, for one of your own to become a world champion. And I know what you do. I know how you support them. And at this time, I want to pass over to the British bantamweight champion and Belfast's very own Ryan Burnett.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'm very, very, very grateful for the people coming out today. This is something I've been wanting for a long time. It wasn't that long ago. I was sitting here and I was on the undercard of another fighter, and I was thinking to myself, one day this is going to be me. And through all the hard work and through the ups and downs, I'm eventually here, and I'm very, very excited for this fight. And it's something I'm looking forward to a lot, and I can't wait now to get my hands on that world title and start bringing big fights to Belfast. I know on the night I'm gonna have a tough fight. If I'm correct, Lee Haskins has been beat once in 9 years. Is that correct? Yeah. He's only been beat once in 9 years, so that goes to show the level of this guy. He's been there, he's done it, and he's a great world champion. He's not world champion for nothing. He hasn't defended his world title for nothing. He's a very, very good fighter. But I know that this is my time. This is where I take over, and Father Time catches up with everyone. So it's time for me to take over and step aside.
Ryan, how much pressure do you feel going into June the 10th? How important is it to take this opportunity? Because these opportunities don't come around. You may never get a better chance than this to win a world title. We know it's an extremely tough fight, but in your home territory, how much pressure do you feel to make sure you take this chance?
There's no pressure on me. I'm only 24, you know what I mean? This is all new to me. I'm enjoying this. There's no pressure on me whatsoever. If there's pressure on anyone, it's going to be Haskins, because he's the champion. He's coming over to my home ground, and he's trying to defend his belt. I'm only young, only 24, only had 16 fights. My road's only starting. His road's come to an end, and all the pressure's on him, so no pressure on me.